All right, I did Final Cut by S.J. Watson. When the cameras start rolling, secrets are exposed, some more deadly than others. And you'll see why this is more important as I go along with this presentation. All right, so Final Cut is set in the filmmaking world, and it follows the perspective of a filmmaker named Alex, who is set to film her latest documentary in Blackwood Bay. And Blackwood Bay it's a small town, and it's kind of just got known because a girl just killed her, or supposedly killed herself from this town, and another girl ran away, and it's a very small town, so people are wondering like what's going on with this town. And Alex, the main character, also is from this town, but she doesn't really remember that. She can't remember her past, but we'll get into all that as we go on. But yeah, so she's filming a documentary on this town called Blackwood Bay. All right, the main character is Alex, who it's from her perspective. She's a filmmaker who's also gets into investigating this town, main character. And Sadie is who Alex was before Alex forgot her past. So this was like, her real name is Sadie, I guess, but after she was found and couldn't remember her past, her name became Sadie. Then there's Daisy. Daisy's a girl who killed herself from this town, which ends up being a main character. And Zoe's the girl who ran away from this town. And Gavin is a local from this town who heard that they were shooting a documentary and said he would help them out in any way he could. And Monica is a girl who acts kind of like a mother figure to some of the girls in this town. And then it's not on this, but the people of Blackwood Bay are also pretty much main characters because they don't really appreciate Alex being there, and they don't help her as she goes on with her investigation and documentary for this town. All right, the beginning starts as Alex is on her way to Blackwood Bay, and it says it's snowing, like a winter storm, and her car spins out. And after she goes and investigates like what caused that, her car will not start, and so she thinks she's stranded. But finally a car comes, and it's Gavin, the guy, the local, who said he'll help her like kind of film and get the word out that she's doing a documentary in this town. And as they arrive in Blackwood, she starts recognizing signs and things that she doesn't know why she recognizes them, as she doesn't really remember a lot of things. And she suddenly has a flashback, and the flashback is her in a hospital talking to a doctor, but she has no clue how she got there, who she is, or any of that. But then it cuts off and it goes to the next morning, and she starts the documentary but feels an urge to figure more about the girls and kind of like the secrets about the town. And as we get more into the middle and the climax, Alex gets deeper in the documentary, and she finds, or an anonymous number sends her like videos of these teenage girls, and they were arguing and smoking a joint. And so she was confused why this number sent it to her, and she was curious if it had to do with the two girls. And this makes Alex concerned for these girls and suspicious, and so this kind of draws her even deeper into the investigation. And she also figures out that the people of the town don't really want to help, like, talk about these girls or help her get in this investigation, which she finds kind of weird, since obviously it's a tragedy. So she gets further into the investigation, and she's pretty much alone. And as she does this, she also starts figuring more and more stuff about her past, and why she recognizes some of the signs. And towards the end, Alex starts figuring out that she's originally from the town. She finds out that her name is Sadie, and she was friends with both of these girls. She also figures out some very creepy and dark secrets about the town. and about why these people don't want to help her, and she figures out she can't trust anyone from this town. And I don't want to spoil the book, but yeah, I mean, it gets pretty dark. And then the movie, for my personal connection, it really reminded me of the movie Shutter Island. Both use like memory as a big tool in it, and imagination, and they use those to kind of confuse you, and I don't know, just a bunch of loops and twists that try to confuse you and end up getting to the plot. And they are both also associated with investigation and someone investigating another like crime or something to investigate. To me, this book was easy to read. I mean, it used easy words, but it was also confusing as a way, as there were a lot of twists, a lot of turns, which the author does do a good job of making it less confusing as possible, but there's no chill in this book. It's always, one thing after another. There's not a lot of just sitting around. I mean, it definitely keeps you on the edge. And then my final thoughts, I was very happy I chose this book as my thriller. I would highly recommend this book to anyone that enjoys a book that just keeps you on your edge the whole time. It definitely keeps you drawn the whole time. So, I mean, I thought it was a good book, and, it had a good ending, and it ended on a little cliffhanger, so I thought it was a pretty good book. Thank you.